Welcome back. It's episode 14.
14. We have a teenager.
What can you do at 4? Is that like the babysitting age? Like you can babysit when you're 4? Is that like a thing?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that's not a thing.
I don't really know if there's a set age there probably is now. What I do, I'm pretty sure you can get your motorcycle license at 14.
Okay.
You can get like the farm truck thing.
Oh,
where you
right,
can
right.
basically drive to school and home.
Yeah.
And like on your property.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get your motorcycle license at 14.
Well, look at us. We get our motorcycle license.
We can drive
today.
a motorcycle.
Woo!
Yeah. I'm not going to do that. Ever.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm not that kid.
No, I'm not either. I've never been that kid. Like, I guess I'm a wimp or whatever, but I just feel like there's no protection between you and anything other vehicle
else.
Or, I don't know, the road.
Yeah.
Like, you fall. Anyway, I don't know. That's soapbox.
I have ridden on a few, and I have ridden with helmets on.
Yeah.
And then I got injured once on my husband's. He used to have a motorcycle, but it was literally driving off. Like we were on gravel, and it kind of fishtailed a little, and I instinctively kind of put my leg out and kind of like tightened my grip on his arm, and it pulled my neck somehow. I literally couldn't carry a backpack to school for like the next week, and I couldn't lift my arm like above like a 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is stupid. It's not even a cool story.
So my uncool story is we used to go to Mark and Shirley's house to swim all the time.
Yes.
And her grandson Garrett had a 4-wheeler, and he's like, I don't know, 6 years younger than me, 7 years younger than me.
Yeah, because he's the same age as your sister.
I think so. So he's 6 years younger than me. And so I was like, I don't know, 12, 13 years old, which would make him 6 or 7 years old. And he's out here on this 4-wheeler. I mean, like this big 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
So he was like, hey, you want to come ride with me? And I was like, sure, I'll go ride with you. I'm like, okay, a 6-year-old riding this 4-wheeler.
How bad can it be?
He's like popping wheel, like he's going so fast. And I'm like holding on for dear life as a teenager, as this anyway, he would have not let us crash. And if I would have drove it, I probably would have crashed it. Anyway, that's my uncool story.
And that's kind of how we are, which is why we are doing podcasts.
That's right.
That's why we're radio and TV kind of people.
And not Harley Davidson people.
Not a sponsor, and never will be.
Well, yeah, that's right. We don't want you, Harley Davidson.
So we've done 14 episodes.
Well, 13, this will be 14
This will be
today.
14 today. I know we've done about 10 of those were Veggie Tale episodes.
Right. And we've talked about Bible school and Falls Creek and worship music and all this kind of stuff.
As they say on TV, previously
on
what we have learned,
or our Facebook page, what have we learned?
We're never fixing it.
Never going to fix it. It's just a thing now. I
kept hearing Dina Dobrev's voice for Vampire Diaries previously on the Vampire Diaries. I kept hearing that in my head today, and I was like, previously on what we have learned.
There's so many of those shows that like just like a dumb thing like that you're like, you could just hear that voice in your head all the time.
I think about that sometimes when I'm doing the same chore over and over again at home. I'm like, previously at the Hall House. Yeah.
Or there's like commercial. What's like a commercial that like you remember like just played all the time when you were a kid that was just like engraved in your head?
Yeah. So I would say probably one of the biggest ones would be the Toys R Us.
Oh yeah.
I sing that sometimes, and then I sing that around the house sometimes. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid, and I didn't even have cable, so I didn't probably even see that much. But I still sing jingles. I do jingles from the radio a lot.
Okay, so I'll do those, but it'll be like I'll be like, oh hey, I need a Band-Aid or whatever, and they'll be like, I am stuck. Like I'll do stuff like that, or like someone will be talking about like, hey, it'd be real nice if we had carpet in here, and I'd be like, call 1-800. Like it's just
carpet,
like someone says a word,
was
just
it
like
Stanley Steamers,
yeah. Get your home cleaner. Yeah, and so it's just like it's almost like what's that thing where it was like. I don't even know what it is, but it was like that thing where that guy had like the rat, and it was like every time he would like do
the Pavlov's dogs?
Yeah.
I do O'Reilly's a lot. Yeah. and I've got my kids in on it. So sometimes I'll be like, O'Reilly's auto parts, and I'll hear from the back of the house, yow! Yeah. From my kids.
Well, I'm bad. Like if anybody is like, if their name is like O'Malley or anything like that, I just instinctively like turn their name into that theme jingle. Song. Anyway, it's just like in my brain, I can't get it out.
Yeah, so we have a house full of referencers, and the funny thing is it's funny and like cool, like yay! I kind of like pat myself on the back for it sometimes, but we didn't give our daughter a phone with internet, so I forget sometimes because I just assume that her and her friends are on their phones all the time, and I forget that at school they're not allowed to have them. And so I'll be like, yeah, you know that one sound. And I'll be like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And she's like, the first time she didn't know what it was. And then her friend showed her a video and she starts doing it now. And like, or that's where the whole like Skibbity and 6-7 kind of stuff comes from, is like videos. Well, none of my kids have that stuff, access to that stuff.
Right.
And, I mean, like, unless I'm the idiot that's going to show them. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of funny because it's wild how much we reference, like, old things. So my 14-year-old daughter, my eldest kid, my 14-year-old daughter, she jokes around like she's the only kid in her entire junior high that's ever seen Princess Bride. And she's like, I have this shirt that I gave to her. Talk about like retro and like hand-me-downs. Yeah. It's in the same font as Twilight. Right. But it says The Light, and it quotes like John 14:6 or whatever. Right. And she said she comes into school the other day, and right before we left the house, she had this jacket on that kind of matched the same colors. And she was like, but like, why does this jacket make me feel like Gryffindor? And I was joking around like they say coded now. And I was like, oh yeah, that's so Gryffindor coded, and like joking around. And she comes into school and one of her friends says, wow, Gryffindor coded about her jacket. And I was like, me picked up on that. Then she takes off the coat and she's sitting in a class, and one of the kids goes, wait, that doesn't say Twilight. And I was like, yes. I was like, these kids get it. These are the only kids. But she'll do that. She says she walks around saying stuff like, you keep using that word, but I don't think it means what you think it means and stuff. And they don't have any idea what Princess Bride is. And she says that she's quoted like, she was singing like School of Rock. Oh, one of her friends was like, oh, I love Jack Black. Because of the Minecraft movie, they were like, oh, I love Jack Black. He's so good. I love that Peaches song. And she goes, wait. You know he's been in like other things. Like, have you not seen School of Rock? Yeah. And they're like, what's that? Yeah. And I said, no, take this back a few steps, Alice. I was like, they don't even know he's been in Jumanji. I was like, and that was made for you.
There was I don't even know what it was, but there was some reference Leandria and I made the other day. And it was like, I don't know, not that long ago, like mid 2010s. And we said it, and the kids didn't know what we were talking about. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know you guys were infants that didn't know anything. Like,
and they're probably like, I wasn't even born yet.
I wasn't born. Yeah. Because this is like the kids we have now that are like 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, they were literally born in like 2011 or something.
Exactly. And so I'd be like, yeah, back in 2006. And they'd be like, oh, no, okay.
-2. Right. -2.
Anyway. So today, what are we talking about today, Randy?
So I thought we were talking about what we should talk about next. And we kind of did a little survey on the Facebooks and the World Wide Web.
What's the World Wide Web?
www. The Facebook. No, that's not what it is anymore. And we kind of were thinking people kind of like when we talk about theology. Yeah. As much as we love a good old Veggie Tales, and we like to but we were talking about theology with the Veggie Tales. Right. So anyway, we got to talking, and we were talking, why don't we just dive into the deep end and talk about God's plan or will for us.
Yeah, so I do think it does. So I feel like it does relate because, we're talking about all this different stuff, and there is a lot of, like, deep meaning behind the VeggieTales and the stuff or whatever, because even though they are playful and even though they are meant for kids or whatever, like, when you actually, like, study those, like, passages and those scriptures and those stories
it's
and
crazy.
stuff, it is very deep. And I feel like, especially all the people that we've talked about so far that we've done VeggieTale characters or whatever, like, each one of those people had to figure out God's will for their life. Each one of those people had, even though they weren't always in the center of God's will, i.e. David, like, they were still, like, and then, which we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but, like, they were doing God's will, and then, like, God's, like, what his master plan was
still going on.
And they still didn't even get to see the fulfillment of it because the fulfillment of it was Jesus.
Yes.
And, like, this was, like, Abraham and people like that were thousands of years before Jesus.
Yeah.
And, like, they still had to be faithful. They still had to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of why we wanted to talk about this was like, like, not necessarily what God's will for our lives, but, like, also, even though sometimes when we do God's will, it may seem like there's nothing happening or nothing going on, but like, there's still a bigger picture that's coming, even if we don't get to see the fulfillment of that big picture, like, it's still what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, and it's I think part of it is, like, as millennials, we're kind of in a weird spot. We grew up without instant gratification, but then by the time we hit, like, the end of our teens, like, for you, it would have been like your teens. Me, like, it'd be coming out of my teens.
Mm-hmm.
Instant gratification became more and more and more, and it, like, almost, like, flipped us on our head a little. Like, we were like growing up, we talked to our friends on landlines,
right?
And then by the time, like, y'all were hitting your teenage years, I was hitting college age years, we could text someone and get an answer immediately,
right?
And like, everyone likes to say, like, God's plan's working in the background. God's will, you can find it by praying and seeking and like, looking to the Bible for it.
Right.
But, like, as you're growing up, your homework has to be done right then. You have to turn it in the next day. You have, like, all the stuff, like, worldly plans are right now.
Right.
Everything's happening right now. And I think it's like we have to untrain ourselves to be in the right now, like, to want everything to happen right now, and see that if we really are in full obedience, we may never even see the results of it.
Right.
Which is, like, really...
It's hard.
It's hard to teach, let alone live in.
Right. Well, yeah, because, I mean, okay, so, like, kind of like you were talking about, like, growing up or whatever, is it was like, if I wanted to watch the new episode of a show coming out, you had to wait flipping week for the next show to come out. You had to watch the same episode for a stupid week.
Yeah, and you were not going to see reruns for, like, years.
Right.
Like, you weren't seeing it again.
If you want to see a new episode...
You missed it.
Right, exactly. And so, like, well, now, they just release seasons at a time.
Yeah.
And so you can just you can binge watch a whole season in, like, 2 days.
Yeah.
And, like, and so there's, like, it's
just so much of a flip.
Right.
And like, talking about Pavlov's dogs earlier, which is, everyone likes to reference that because it's just so bizarre that anyone could teach someone to, like, I think the whole thing was it taught them to be hungry. Yeah. So they would, like, drool, basically.
Yeah.
When they heard the bell ring. It wasn't necessary.
The Dwight thing on The Office where it was like, you want a mint, Dwight? Or Altoid, Dwight?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, he was, like, you trick them into wanting something, and then you're like, why is my mouth dry? Yeah, it's like that. And you're, and so with us, I feel like we didn't realize that's the whole subliminal messaging of even, like, the commercials. Like, that's why we still think about it all the time.
Right.
And I think with, as humans were made, God did make us with a consciousness of our own, the ability to think through things on our own, and the ability to move about on our own within his, like, his world.
Right.
And I think that's why it causes so much problems, because the whole, like, if you believe in free will, which as a Baptist you usually do.
Right.
Like the liberty that brings, but yet, and the freedom that brings, yet the like chaos that brings.
Right.
I think that's why it's hard to understand. Like, God has a plan, and is God's plan his will, or is it like, is his plan moving and then his will is something else?
Right.
Like, where does our will come in? Where do our plans come in? And I think it's because we're being conditioned all the time, and we don't even realize we're doing it.
Right.
But yeah, the TV thing's kind of funny though, because streaming services are now I think this is where the first mistake ever came in. I understand kind of why, but TV seasons used to be like 20, 25, 30 seasons long, episodes long.
Right.
Then they went down to like 10 to 15. Now they're only 8.
Yeah.
They do a lot of the shows that went down to 8 are longer.
Right.
And that used to be called a mini series.
Right.
And you'd only see it on like HBO Max or something.
Right.
And it was basically like they had made a movie, but they prolonged it.
Uh-huh.
And now that's like the standard. But I know, so there's a show I watch sometimes. I won't say what it is. It's a guilty pleasure, and I'll be nice and not say what it is. But it's not, because I wouldn't approve it for 14-year-olds, episode 14. This is a 16-year-old at least kind of show.
You gotta listen to 2 more episodes before you
gotta listen to at least 2 more before I can tell you what it is. Anyway, them and a couple of other shows started doing that. They released them every week on a certain day at a certain time.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. And what's really funny is you're watching it on Amazon Prime, and I think Netflix does this too. They've brought back commercials.
Yeah.
So it really was like, if I missed it,
right,
but it stays on. And that's the catch with streaming, is it stays on.
Right.
So I missed it a couple of weeks in a row because my hotspot was messing up on my TV. So I still just binged the 3 episodes anyway.
Right.
But, it's kind of funny how the whole day, though, when I had called the phone company because I thought my phone broke. I was about to buy a new phone. That's how bad I was wanting to watch my shows. And there was a couple of other things I had been looking up to do workouts and stuff.
Right.
But that's how conditioned I was. I was like, it's Wednesday and I'm not watching my show.
Right.
And I'm like, first of all, you're like, this can't be what God had planned for us, that we're addicted to our TVs and our phones.
Right.
But also, I realized, what was I not doing instead of? I was putting away things I had told people I would do, things I would listening to my Bible app. I've got a Through the Word app where you listen to a devotional,
right,
and a chapter a day thing. And I wasn't doing any of those because I was so panicked about saving my data so I could watch the show, because I misunderstood how my phone was broken.
Right.
And then I was like, I'm an idiot. And so guilty. How much of us are guilty of we don't get it,
right,
and we do a delayed obedience?
Yeah.
And I think that's why God's will is such a good topic.
Well, yeah, because I like you bring that up, because it's so often I feel like that we're well, I just wonder what God's will is for my life. I want to figure out what God's will is for my life. And then we stress about it, and we're like, why can I not figure out God's will for my life? But then it's
have you asked?
Have you asked? Because literally Jesus said, ask and it'll be given to you.
Yeah.
It's seek and you'll find. It's not hard.
Search for me and I will find you.
Right, exactly. He's not just you're not playing hide and seek with God or whatever. And so it's just there's that aspect of it or whatever. But then there's the whole, because so I wrote down, in Hebrews chapter 10, there's a verse that says, patient endurance is what you need now, so that you will continue to do God's will. Then you will receive all that he has promised. And right after that verse, it goes into chapter 11 of Hebrews, which is the super famous heroes of the faith chapter.
Yeah.
And this is what we talked about in our youth group on Wednesday night, was all of these people, they did all this really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And so, it goes through, starts with Abraham. Well, actually starts with Abel. And then it goes all the way to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Rahab, all these different people.
Yeah.
And
it calls them heroes of the faith.
Yeah. It tells them it was by faith that, Joshua walked around the walls of Jericho or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they had to have faith. But Abraham's first thing of your descendants are going to outnumber the stars in the sky or whatever. And then he tells David, like, the Messianic king is going to come from your line or whatever.
Like your kingdom will never end, basically.
And so, like, there's those promises that, like, all those people, even though they were faithful, they still never got to see that promise.
Yeah.
And which was Jesus coming or whatever. And then even when Jesus is on the earth, I think it's in Matthew chapter 13 or maybe chapter 12, where he tells his disciples, like all the people that came before you, like the Abrahams, the Moseses, all those people, like, they long to see what you're seeing right now.
Yeah.
And so, like, for them, this was like, okay, I'm going to live my life because God promised me that, like, this would happen or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it would probably be, especially for Abraham, when you're 90 whatever years old,
yeah.
and God told you 30 years ago you're going to have, like, the most kids ever.
And you still haven't had one.
You haven't had one kid. And so you're like, how can I have the most if I'm 99 and Sarah's also 99?
Yeah.
And we have zero. Like,
zero children.
And so...
Thanks, God.
So then it gets to, like, their, like, what we do a lot of times where we think, okay, well, it's not happening fast enough, so I've got to do it my own way.
Or maybe he meant for me to do it. Or
right.
whatever.
Maybe I'm supposed to intervene in this.
Yeah.
Which I think sometimes is not always, like, it's not always wrong to think that, because I think sometimes we come at it as like, oh, well, God doesn't want me to just sit on my couch and do nothing. I need to go be proactive.
Yeah, we're supposed to go join in his work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then there are some times where God just, like, just sit back, let me cook, and I will, like, it will happen. But, like, it's got to be my timing, not your timing, which is where we get the whole Ishmael thing.
Yeah.
And then that ended up not great.
Not great at all.
Right. And so, I don't know. I just think it's, like, it's really important for us to, like, as believers, as we try to figure out what God's will is for our life, like, to realize that, like, how when my kids are like, I want to watch Elmo, I can just search Elmo and watch Elmo in like 5 minutes, pull up Elmo or whatever. Or if you don't know a question to something, what do? You Google it and you find out right then.
Yeah. They ask me to Google stuff all the time, and I willingly do it.
Right, exactly. It makes you wonder, like, how did we survive before Google?
I can't believe my grandparents made me look at encyclopedias.
Oh, how dare they?
But it's true.
But yeah, so there's like all that, and like how you were mentioned earlier, the instant gratification thing is like I do think there are some times where God says, like, I want you to do this, do it now.
Yeah.
Like, I want this to happen right now. Like, I think there are times when he does that, but I think that more often than not, he'll tell us, like, hey, I want you to do this, or I want this to happen, or whatever. And it's not like going to be an immediate thing. It's going to be a process and a thing that takes time or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like, and I think if we really went and looked back and, like, really studied it, we could kind of see he kind of hints at it sometimes. Yeah. Like, it's like of course your descendants that number the stars isn't coming straight from you at once right now.
Right.
But, like, in our brain, I think sometimes we do take things a little bit too at face value, and we are so kind of, like, anxious and like impatient that we were like, dude, he told us. Right. He told you were not going to.
Well, even if he didn't take it at face value, he was like if I'm going to have like the most kids, I've got to have the most kids so they can have the most kids, and then they can have like I have to have a kid before they can have like, you know, or whatever. So like, you get where he's coming from.
Yeah, you get it, and you also get, when you go back and read it, you're like, I think God kind of really set you up for that, but like you just don't. I think it's just because since God is kind of like outside of time, we're in it. We don't understand like. You know, it's like we don't understand that, like, kind of how they say, like, a day is like 1 day is kind of like 1,000 years to God kind of thing. Like, we just don't understand the whole idea of when God means soon and when God means now. Right. And it's so funny that we're so quick, that we're almost quick to assume. We're so quick to assume because we want it now that God must mean it needs to happen, like, today. Right. And so when it doesn't happen within like a week, you're like, oh, I guess I got that wrong, God, or I guess I need to do it. Right. And you're it it does kind of make me laugh because I will say in Sarah's defense, I probably would have been like that too. I've been like, you know what? Never mind.
Right.
Here's my cute maid.
Right.
Like,
well, then she
honestly,
laughs like later on or whatever when God's like, hey, tell Sarah she's gonna have a baby.
Yeah, she literally laughs.
And she laughs
out
at him.
loud.
And then I love the conversation because he says, she's like, he asked Sarah, he's like, why'd you laugh? And she's like, I didn't laugh. And then he goes, but you did laugh.
Yeah.
And so I just
Crap,
like,
he heard that?
That's like one of my favorite conversations in the whole Bible because it just ends because he says, Sarah, why'd you laugh? And she said, I didn't laugh. And he goes, yes, you did laugh.
Did. Yeah, you did though.
And then she says nothing after that. So she's like, oh, I guess
yeah,
you're
I
right.
got caught.
Dang it.
But yeah, I think there's going into which we can dive deeper in our next episode about this. But it's like I think going into it, you kind of think, especially like me, I grew up in church and you grew up in church. I think sometimes we're kind of bad at it because we've heard the story so much.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if you've seen cool miracles and stuff, which some of us have, you kind of get lost in it sometimes. Because I'm like, yeah, well, that was the Old Testament. And
right.
Or, yeah, that was literally Jesus healing people. And you're kind of like, it's not the same for us.
Right.
Because we're different and it's different. But honestly, I think the whole point was, like, this has been the same the whole time. It's going to be the same the whole time. God has always had a plan. He's always had a will for your lives. He's always had, this is what's happening. We're just all kind of been put into the timeline at our according times.
Right.
That doesn't make it any easier to really know what to do day to day as far as if you are seeking God about a specific thing. But I think it should make your day to day easier.
Right.
Like everything you do to the glory of God wasn't just said just to be like a cool catchphrase or like a cat poster or something.
Right.
It's meant to be like, and like he says to be like, I don't remember where, but he's like, always be, when they're talking about like end times and stuff, they're like, just be ready.
Right. Be instant in season out and out of season.
It wasn't because like trying to make you anxious. It was because that they were supposed to be like that all the way back.
Right.
All the way back to the beginning. They didn't know what was happening, so they should be ready and active and knowing what to do next.
Right.
Like, God wasn't being a jerk when he sent all those laws through Moses and, like, you know, and they got impatient and made a cow.
Right.
So there's a show on YouTube called The Promised Land. We've been watching. It's the joke is it's The Office meets like Bible times, and what they do, and they really do like the talking heads. And so what it is like really casual, very, especially that kind of mockumentary kind of where it's kind of looks like it's all like a steady camp, like it's all like kind of like a
yeah,
and it doesn't look like super high tech or anything. It's just like these people hanging out.
Yeah.
And it was doing the part where Moses goes up on the mountain and it's like day 1 and everyone's like, we've got, and Aaron's like, oh, I'm going to be the best at this. I can totally take care of these people. And it's like day 2. This is terrible. Why did Moses leave? Why am I in charge? Oh my gosh, these people are so hard. And then it's like day 40 and they're like, la 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 la, and like hitting tambourines and waving like leaves in the air, and they're singing at like this little bitty gold statue that they made.
Yeah.
And or was like day 40, and then it's like day 41 he comes, or it's like day 38 and they're doing that, and then like day 40 he comes back or whatever it is. I have those mixed up. Anyway, we were watching that like they were kind of making fun of it, but they're kind of like meaning it's supposed to be kind of like it's kind of like a make fun of, kind of like it really means to inform kind of a thing. And we were laughing so hard because I was like, when you read it, 40 days seems kind of like a long time.
But that's really not that long.
But it's not. It's only like a month and a half.
It's so not long at all.
It's so not very long. And we were like, dudes, they didn't even make it like a month.
Yeah.
And they gave up. They were like, we need you to make a god, Aaron, so we can worship it.
It's
like they literally just walked through a parted sea.
I I know.
And it's so funny. But when you see them kind of making fun, kind of showing the process, and Aaron like losing his mind, and some of the other leaders like losing their minds, you're like, I probably would have done that.
It's
I probably
just so
would have
funny.
been like, no, we need a physical something,
Right.
because they just came out of Egypt with all these physical somethings.
Right.
I kind of feel like I would have been the same one. I mean, I might not have been as like boisterous, like woo, but like I might have been. I probably would have at least grabbed a leaf and like shook it around or something.
Yeah, well, it's just like, it's so funny because it's like Moses comes back down and he's like, you have to know, Moses was like, that I was not gone that long.
No, yeah.
I was not gone that long.
He probably started. Was he thinking to himself, "Wait, was it only 40 days or was it longer?"
Yeah, maybe I was actually gone for 40 years. Like
time travel.
so he gets back. Hey, Aaron, how long's it been? Oh, it's been 40 days, Moses. And he's like, where'd that calf come from? He's like, well, I got all the gold and I threw it in the fire, and out came this calf
Yeah.
or whatever. It's just so funny.
As you're reading it, you're like, no. You're like, God has to be patient. God has to be outside of time, because I would have ended it there. I would have been like, you know what? Never mind.
I know. I love reading the story of Moses because there's so many times where Moses is just like, God, I would rather you just kill me right now.
Yeah.
And then God has to be like, no, Moses, it's okay. And then there's the flip side where there's times where God's like, Moses,
This isn't worth
these
it.
people are not worth it. Just you go somewhere else by yourself, like, and I'm gonna kill
I'll
these
destroy
people.
these people.
And then Moses has to be like, God, listen, bro, I get it.
We'll make it. It's okay.
I understand. We could do. So they both have
Yeah.
to like with each other be like, I know these people are like the most crazy
The
people on
worst.
this planet, and they're awful. And one of them's my brother, so I know how awful he is. I don't know. It's just so funny. And so,
But that's how it is. And I feel like that's why, as we read the Bible, we're like, if they couldn't do it, how in the world do we do it? But that's also like, they couldn't do it. God knew they couldn't do it, and he still kept going.
right,
From the foundation of the earth, Jesus was planned to die on the cross.
right,
There was never a plan B. We are not surprising him by how stupid we are.
right,
I mean, we're probably annoying him a little.
right.
It's probably irritating and heartbreaking. Honestly, as a mom, I get it a little more. We went to a conference, this little church. Well, it wasn't really like a conference. It was kind of like a day thing at a church. But there was these people kind of speaking words of faith and stuff. And like, we won't get too far into this if you believe in it or not, whatever. But they were doing kind of like speaking prophecies over you kind of a thing. And it was just kind of at this like little like, it was kind of like a day conference kind of thing. And this one lady, Aaron was a baby, and he was in his car seat, and I'm sitting there, and this lady's like looking me dead in the face, like staring at me, and she says, Aaron's gonna teach you. He's gonna teach you how God really loves us, or something really weird, kind of like that. And at first I was like, wow, thank you, but vague. But like in my heart, I was kind of like, no, that tracks. Because he had already been kind of a hard baby.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, yeah, no. And as he got older, the more I'm like, different things he did, I was like, there it is. But it's so, like, as a parent, it's so, even after having my third kid, it's so evident. Because there's sometimes I look them dead in the face and I'm like, guys, like, I mean, I literally just asked you to clear your plate. And now there's like 10 in this spot. Like,
Right.
Not that hard. Or I'll be like, we have always done this chore at this time, and now you act like you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm a human talking to human people. Like, we
Right.
all make mistakes. But I'm like, the older I get, the older my kids get, and the more like I read the Bible, the more I'm like, nah, it is. Children do kind of, they really are, like, it's like you get why God was so heartbroken. Like, I can't tell you how many times especially when Aaron was a baby, because he had a tongue tie.
Mm-hmm.
He still technically has it. We never fixed it. My bad. But he would cry really hard about food, and then he couldn't eat it well. And I would literally say to him, don't you trust me to feed you? Don't you think I will do good things for you? I would literally say things like this out loud to my babies, because I was just such in a weird place because I was so tired. But I was also like so heartbroken when I realized, or like my kids would do that. My kids react in a way where it looks like they don't trust me.
Right.
And I was like, Oh. Because I'm like, could you imagine? I mean, it is anger and it is annoyance, but it is also through like heartbreak.
Right.
God's like, I've brought these people up out of the desert. I'm taking them to a promised land.
Right.
And it's like heartbreaking to watch them be like,
yeah.
like, it's like thumbs down, God. We don't like you no more.
Right.
It's like.
And it happens fast.
So fast. And every single one of these people that you go and study about this kind of stuff, like even Job, like Job was like kind of the opposite side of that. He kept preaching, no, God loves me until about the end where he starts getting tired of it.
Right.
But it's like that. Like it's still the same thing on kind of the reverse where you're like, God's like, it's hard. It's God's like out of love and pride. Does he let Job go through anything?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, in the end, he has to kind of put him in his place.
Yeah.
I got some stuff written down. I might share in a minute because it's a lot. But anyway, he's kind of like, basically, he's like, did you hang the stars?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And it's like, but
well, he says that to Moses too. He's like, because Moses is like, when God first calls Moses to go and like go to Pharaoh and be like, let my
and
people
he's
go.
like, who am I, man?
Yeah, and he's like, I don't want to do that. Like, I can't talk or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's like, hey, who gave you your mouth? Like, who gave you the ability to talk?
Yeah.
Like,
don't you think I will use that? Why do you think I chose you, bro?
Exactly. Exactly. So I don't know. We'll talk more about that, I think, in our next episode. But
yeah, we'll chase too many rabbit trails. We need all the time to go deep into it.
But yeah, so we're talking about God's will the next episode also. But
part dose.
Part dose. You have to be looking for part dose coming soon. Coming to a. What did they say? Like
they used to say, coming to a theater near you.
Coming to a theater. Oh, and also, I vividly remember this. I there's very few things in my life I vividly remember more than this. I remember when we would get like VHS tapes or whatever, and there was the switch from where it would show a commercial, and it would be like, coming soon to V8 or whatever. Well, then they would say, coming soon to DVD and VHS or whatever. Well, then they quit saying VHS at all, and then like, coming soon to DVD, and I'd be like, and VHS, because I only have VHS. Like, also VHS, right? Right.
I remember there was a movie, and we didn't have a DVD player yet, and I think we ended up getting one that Christmas because my dad loves movies, and I'm one of 5 kids, so there's 7 people in our family. A lot of movies we saw first time at our house, like, and that's we all complain about how much the prices are now at the movie theaters. Which I don't mind paying that much because I usually don't take a lot of people.
Right.
But like, this is like 20 years ago, and it was still kind of too pricey for us to go. Like, that's how poor we were. But I remember one time we were talking about some movie, and I was like, oh, I can't wait for it to come out. And it came out only on DVD. And we were like, wait, what? Because we only had VHS too. And I'm wanting to say that Christmas, Dad got a DVD player for
I remember
Christmas.
we had, I thought it was the coolest invention ever, was we had the like half VCR, half DVD player or whatever.
I think we got one of those.
It's best of both worlds right here or whatever.
Yes.
I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Kids, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But
you see,
there used to be these massive
video cassette
things that
I don't know what I just now realized. I guess it means system, video something system, because I'm not 100% sure what the HS stands for, because they called them video cassette, but it was VHS players.
They were VCR, which was the video cassette.
That's what I was like. Is it a relay? So it was a VCR was the machine, but then they called them VHS, but they did say video cassette on the show, right?
Yeah. So
because there was cassette tapes that were just sound, and so they had to add video cassette because it's the same thing.
Right. Okay, well, Google is no help, or it has no idea what I'm asking.
Holy moly, we stumped Google.
I take that, Google. Okay, video home system is what VHS stands for.
That makes sense. That's why I was like, it's got to be system.
And then VCR. Bro, this is the stupidest thing.
I can't believe we're stumping Google. I mean, I'm older than Google, but barely, so it's still funny.
All right. Well, I guess comment down below what
If you
VCR
know what
stands
VCR
for. If you even know what a
stands
VCR is, tell us in the comments. And
we've got those turned on now, so please do.
yeah,
Actually, the first time I noticed there was one. The comments were turned on. I was like, yes.
Yeah, we did like 4 episodes where we were like, comment down below, and then Randy was like, hey, bro, you can't comment on these videos. And I was like,
we were trying to be so trendy, and then we were like,
comment,
whoops.
like and subscribe, whatever. And oh, actually, you can only do one.
Don't
of those
forget
things.
to push that button.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
were like, wah, wah, wah.
You don't even know where that button's at, but that's what everybody says. So we'll be back, episode 15.
Yeah.
Talking about God's will.
I'm excited because this is a subject that will never get old to me.
Yeah.
And the deeper you dive into it and the more you read, you're like, dadgum, I need to learn more about this.
Yeah.
I thought I knew, but I don't know.
So that's what you got to come back next episode for. You'll
Yeah.
learn some more.
Well, until next time, bye.
Bye.